Welcome back, guys. Another NVM daily vlog today, and we're going racing. Great weather conditions today. It's nice and sunny, but it's cold. That's good for intake temperatures. We're actually taking the M2, the OG M2. All you guys said, I've neglected this car and I ain't bought you contact. So we're going to Santa Pod, try and beat our personal best time on the quarter mile. So last time we took it up to Santa Pod, we did a 10.9 second quarter mile, 129 mile an hour at the top end. So it'll be interesting to see what it does today. We're running the same setup, so same wheels, tyres, same power. We're just going to mess with the MEF a little, try and get it to come in a bit earlier. But yeah, it should be a good day.
I'm trying to touch the States this time. 2021. Gotta show him I can still rap though. Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make keep the channels on.
So much more comfortable than the M3 with them bucket seats. But yeah, we're here. Just got to quickly go sign on and then set the tyre pressures and we'll be on. Yeah, to be fair, I was going to go to that event and I was thinking, you know, I'll try and get a ticket, and I left it so late, it sold out, and I was like, you know, okay, I'm just going to drive down the Cotswolds. So I went down with the kids and that was it. Same sort of idea I had with the M3. Oh, yeah, tan interior with the metallic black.
That's very, very old-fashioned. You know, if you got 1990 cars, that colour feather.
Mint. So you're looking to buy an M2, I'm looking to buy a Ferrari. Let's talk. So yeah, that's what we need. Let's get in the queue.
It was at this moment that he knew.
So we tripped on the semi-slicks, but we didn't recalibrate the TPMS to the bloody car. So as soon as we jumped off the line, DSC came off and it just kicked out all the power. So I'm literally going to have to pump the tyres, take it for a drive, calibrate all the TPMS, and then bring it back and put it back on the drift. Just bumping up the tyres. I literally have to drive up and down from the entrance to here to reset the tyre pressure monitor, because as soon as it sees too high or too low, it will kick out the launch control, and that's what it did on that one. The data log on that run, that was literally 2800 RPM launch, and it was wheel spinning because we pumped up the tyres to about 30 psi, which is not what they're supposed to work at anyway. So just looking at the log, make sure everything is how it should be. A bit of timing pull. It's getting hot today, but let's have a look. Yeah, throttle's nice, no issues there. Boost pressure is good as well. Yeah, eventful so far. struggling with traction on mines. I mean, 60 foots are 1.9 seconds, and the last time we were here, we were getting 1.6, 1.7s. Tire pressure monitor is playing up as well. For some reason, it kicks it out of launch control mode, and then it goes into a traction on mode. But Dan's getting some good times. Dan's got 11.6 seconds quarter mile with no MEF. That's NVM stage 3, and it's a heavier car, so he's done really well. That's his personal best so far. But yeah, there's so many cars here struggling with grip and temperature. It's gone up to about 20 degrees, so I kind of jinxed it in the morning. In the morning it was 10 degrees, and the sun was out. It was perfect conditions, but now it's just getting really hot. So intake temperatures are rising, timing's being pulled, and also grip. I mean, it's a non-prep track, so it's struggling.
Nice car. What's the retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
Smoke.
One thing we did do last week, we updated the TPMS and the rear diff to the CS software. That's probably why it's keeping us stuck in comfort mode. But it is what it is, part and parcel of the game. Knackered. Yesterday was a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. We've got a couple of cars in today. We've got the Cupra in for some NV Forge wheels. We've got the Scirocco in for stage 1 mapping, and the M2's back on stock wheels by the looks of it. Quite interesting, definitely, but it is what it is. We're going to take the M3 up to Santa Pod sometime soon, as soon as the running service is done, just to see what it does as a standard car. There was a car there yesterday that did it at 11.8 at 120 mile an hour, so no doubt with a few modifications there's going to be a 10-second car in it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it is what it is. So as well as kind of going through everything today with the Cupra and the Scirocco, at some point we've got to have a look as to what we're going to do with the M2 in terms of finding a solution for this frustrating issue. But yeah, Dan did really well yesterday. The MEF wasn't working on his Golf R, so we need to get that car in and sort the MEF out. I think it's the microfilter on the MEF line that's causing the issue. So we'll definitely get it in and put it on the dyno and start changing some parts. So one thing I was thinking about last night was that launch control only works in DSC off manual mode, right? So if I could get the launch control to work in comfort mode, even if it did frazzle out, it'd kind of still stay in launch mode. Because I don't know if I explained it quite well yesterday. Basically, on the previous kind of diff settings and TPMS settings, we used to go to Santa Pod with a calibrated 30 psi, so the car thinks it's normal tyres. Drop the pressures, and then the car will basically say there's a flat tyre. Go to perform reset, and it will allow us to go through all the modes and until it kind of picks it up. But yesterday it was just picking it up straight away, and it wouldn't allow to go into second gear with launch control. So it allowed us off the line basically, and as soon as it's in, tyre pressures were too low in second gear, it'd kick out. And because the shift points on the Tiptronic, the manual mode, and the launch control modes are so similar, if it frizzles out just before it shifts and it goes into comfort mode, it literally holds on to the rev limit, and that's what you heard on the video, which is and that loses time basically. Also, obviously, we have specifically mapped for Sport Plus and DSC off mode, so we're running a lot more power in them modes. So at some point today, I'm going to have a look at the gearbox mapping and the ECU mapping and see if we can activate launch control in comfort, drive, sport. So if it does ever frizzle out for whatever reason, it's not going to knock it into full manual mode and sit on the rev limiter. But yeah, a lot of work to do. But yeah, let's get through the day first. So VW Scirocco 2-litre TSI in for NVM stage 1 mapping. Obviously this is a DSG box, so we're going to map the box and the ECU together and see what we can achieve today. The car's on mixed fuel, so it's going to be quite interesting. Times I think you're slowing down my Wi-Fi. Can you disconnect from my Wi-Fi? Bro, what the? Pulling timing already. So a completely stock ECU run. This car is running 97 run. Well, I say 97 because it's a mix of 95 and 99. And it's around 223 brake horsepower, 296. It is pulling a bit of timing, and as you probably aware, what can I zoom out? Zooming problems. So a few concerns with this one. PCV valve needs replacing, core packs and spark plugs need doing. It ran a good stock figure, but yeah, timing pull. Looking at the peak, 256 brake horsepower, 405 newton meters of torque, which is pretty good for a stage 1, but I mean we usually target 265 to 270. But yeah, no two cars are the same. So just had a look at the calibration, so we're going to try a few things and see if we can get launch control in all modes. So it looks like that's worked. So if it does, for whatever reason, come out of launch control program, it will go back to comfort mode and the launch control shift settings are still active, so it will auto shift rather than hold at the rev limit. So let's see. So just dialing it in on the dyno, not really adding much power. It's still 99 run fuel. What we found with the 109, it was on the limit of the stock internals, to be honest with us. So we are running 99 run and 99 run boost, and that's what we ran the 10.9 in, believe it or not. But yeah, we changed a few settings just to smoothen it out at the top end, especially because on the quarter mile you're at, you're below 5,000 RPM for a split second. The rest is between 5 and 6.5. So that should help. Just going to take it on the road and make sure the launch control works as it should now.